Hey, gaming community. Welcome back to another episode of Gaming Fun with Hoplite Evolved. My name is Eagle Eye.
And this is Noble. Welcome to the podcast.
So, Noble, we're back at it yet again with another Halo campaign rank. So today we're ranking the 5th ranked Halo campaign for us out of the 8 total that we're doing. And might I say, since we've, first started this, I had to start the Halo Wars campaigns because I had yet to play them, and I'm kind of sad I missed out on them, dude.
Yes.
They're actually pretty good.
They're pretty solid. I like them a lot.
Right. But I digress. So, today we're gonna reveal our rank 5 out of 8 with a B ranking. So a solid ranking is which one?
Is going to be Halo 3 ODST.
That is right. So overall, I thought this was a good game, and obviously you did too. But ultimately, the top 4 above it, we just felt were so much better.
Right.
So first things first, we're going to do our campaign recap. So spoiler alert, if you have not played the game, you do not want to listen beyond this point. This is definitely the cutoff saying, hey, we are going to learn things that you didn't know. All right. So, Halo 3 ODST starts at October 20th, 2552. The majority of an ODST squad are preparing for the mission on board the UNSC Say My Name. Say my name, say my... No. Orbiting high above New Mombasa, Kenya. They are grouped around a hollow table which shows the Covenant Prophet of Regret assault carrier Solemn Penance, hovering near the city space tether. The ODSTs are soon put on alert when their team leader, Gunnery Sergeant Edward Buck, who we actually know later on is a Spartan, enters the room with an ONI operative named Veronica Dare. Buck then orders the ODST to drop their pods. Right. While walking to the nearby armory, Buck is stopped by Dare, who remarks that the members of his squad are replacements. Buck acknowledges the problem, but notes that after 27 years of war with the Covenant, very few veterans are left in the UNSC. Conflicted about what she likely told him prior to entering the room, Buck confronts Dare about the objective of his team, stating the assault carrier carrying the Prophet of Regret is a more vital concern than her covert mission. Dare reminds him that they have orders to follow and that she should be referred to as Captain. Of course, she has to pull the rank on him. So, Buck directs the captain to her pod, then gives a short speech to his men to motivate them for the drop. Hands a sniper rifle to Romeo, who I think we've seen before as well, drawing questions from the squad who were anticipating a close-range battle inside the Covenant assault carrier. The ODST soldiers are prepared to drop. Marine forces are informed by Dare that the Covenant ground troops are massing beneath the assault carrier for an organized retreat. Dozens of ODSTs are launched into Earth's atmosphere in a coordinated drop to infiltrate and capture the Prophet of Regret aboard the assault carrier. They pass by a few destroyed frigates slowly falling from the orbit around the elevator and begin to enter the cloud cover above the city. As they pass through it and approach the carrier, the captain orders the squad to adjust their trajectory, sending the ODSTs way off, in quotes, of their intended course in Mickey's words following the order. The ODSTs get separated because the assault carrier entered slipspace before they were able to deploy their parachutes. So, 6 hours after the drop, the rookie awakens to the sound of 2 phantoms flying nearby. He soon regains the situational awareness, discovering that his drop pod is lodged in a building at least 20 feet off the ground. With no choice, he jumps out of the pod and falls to the street, slightly injuring himself when he hits the ground. After combing the area for medical supplies, he heads in the city to find his squad. The rookie then encounters a few Covenant patrols covering a small area. This is where the game truly begins, by the way. After dispatching them, he is alerted to a ringing data terminal. Upon accessing the terminal, the rookie is connected to the superintendent, a second-generation dumb, in air quotes, AI tasked with maintaining the city's infrastructure. The AI provides the rookie with data that has previously been unlocked by Dare, and the superintendent begins to assist the rookie, giving him maps, marking notable locations throughout the city, and providing him warnings using road signs. As the rookie travels through the city, he finds new clues regarding the fate of his squad mates. So 6 hours earlier, Buck had landed somewhat safely and made radio contact with Dare, who told him that she had been trapped in her drop pod. And with the assistance of Marines in the area, Buck was able to fight his way to her position. Along the way, he noticed a family feud, air quotes, within the Covenant, as the main Sangheili were found dead and seemed to have been killed by the Brutes. By this time, Buck got to Dare's pod. She was nowhere to be found, but Buck noticed Huragok, I hope I said that right, and saw that it was holding Dare's helmet in one of its tentacles. Romeo and Buck regrouped, the former stating his belief that Dare was dead, and the rookie later finds the helmet. Now, meanwhile, Dutch landed in an Uplift nature reserve where he led a Warthog charge in an effort to breach the Covenant defenses and secure the long-departed carrier's landing zone. Mickey had landed nearby and stumbled upon retreating Marines along with a tank. So Mickey used a Scorpion to bring the Marines to their rally point, the entrance on the Oni Alpha site. There, he and Dutch regrouped and found a desperate police officer who was searching for an explosives expert. Mickey, who had originally hopped to dig in the rally point, then wait for backup, was pressed into service, and he and Dutch headed to the Oni Alpha site with the police officer in tow. The two ODSTs then worked with the officer and several Marines to defend the Oni complex. The courtyard was quickly overrun by Covenant forces, prompting the besieged humans to retreat the structure's interior. The humans are eventually forced to retreat from the building using a police Pelican. As they fled, they destroyed the base using remote detonated explosives, preventing the Covenant from using the structure and its contained information. While in a fight, Dutch and Mickey managed to reestablish communication with Buck, and they headed to the headquarters to pick them up. Upon arriving and attempting to land on the rooftop to pick up Buck and Romeo, Mickey and Dutch and their police department allies were attacked by Banshees, and their Pelican is shot down. Buck and Romeo fight their way across the rooftops to get to the police department headquarters and down Pelican with their squad mates. There, the four ODSTs defend the building from the Banshees and Phantoms with landing parties, and they were successful in repelling the Covenant assault. But in the process, Romeo was badly wounded by a brute chieftain, and their Pelican was damaged and left inoperable. Buck led the group to, I can't say this, Kikowani Station, and planned to use the train system to escape the city, stabilizing Romeo with biofoam along the way. Upon arrival, however, the group discovered that the tram tunnels had been flooded. They proceeded to hijack a Phantom and escape the city, fighting their way past enemy Banshees and even a Scarab in the process. Along the way, they noticed several Ket pattern battle cruisers moving toward the crater left by the assault carrier's slipspace jump. After escaping the city proper, Buck realized where Dare was and ordered Mickey to turn back and set him down. Meanwhile, the rookie, having made his way to the superintendent's data center, finds Captain Dare locked in a sub-level 9. She reveals that her orders were to fight her way to the AI's data core center and retrieve the information that had recently been discovered about what lay beneath the city and deny access to the Covenant. Dare and the rookie fight their way into the data center, arriving just as the severely damaged superintendent finally shuts down. Dare reveals an Oni discovery that Huragok was enslaved by the Covenant and have little love for their overlords. That explains the quote-unquote family feud going on.
Mm-hmm.
The two convince the Huragok to follow them just as the Covenant arrive. Buck arrives at the same time. They escape the data core and fight through hordes of Covenant troops before reaching an elevator, which takes them to the city's coastal highway. Buck informs Dare and the rookie that he has stolen a Phantom waiting in the shipyards down on the highway. More Covenant ships enter the city, and the fleet begins to glass the area in an attempt to uncover the buried Forerunner portal to the Ark. The ODSTs endure multiple Covenant attacks while waiting for Mickey to return, and when Mickey and the rest of his squad reach their position, the group boards the captured Phantom, narrowly avoiding a Covenant carrier's glassing beam, and they escape the city, and more Covenant ships begin to arrive to excavate the portal. So, that's the campaign, right? Man, that was a mouthful. Whew.
Yeah, that was a lot.
I wanted to be a little more thorough on this one. So
Right.
there's a lot there. This campaign actually has a whole lot of story to it. But why don't we break it down? So let's start here with pros of the campaign. So I'm going to let you start and tell me what you think.
Okay, so yeah, first off, the campaign was awesome. It was the first main title Halo game, without playing Master Chief, but Bungie executed it very well. Me personally, I loved playing as the rookie, finding clues, figuring out what happened with your squad. Playing the flashback as different members of your squad was also very cool to me. I just thought that was awesome. It broke up the story a little bit as well, so it wasn't just like the same thing over and over. Made for a great pace. The campaign was also set in the same timeline as Halo 3, so it made you feel connected to the game and forced you to look at the Human Covenant War from a different perspective. Playing as the rookie, the streets of New Mombasa, just it felt like that open world kind of map. I mean, it kind of was in a sense, and you could take things at your own pace too, which was awesome. So I guess Bungie did it before 343 and Infinite a little bit, some of that open world concept.
A little bit.
And then Jarrett, the music, the ambiance of the night missions was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved like just the sad jazz tone in the music. Martin O'Donnell, Michael Salvatore did an amazing job with this soundtrack. And there were times, Jarrett, where I would just look this up. Somebody interlaid the soundtrack for Halo 3 ODST with some thunderstorms and rain in the background, and I would legit play that on. They had like an hour version, like an 8-hour version. I would play that on and go to sleep to this music. Like I loved it. I loved it so much. That was one of the biggest highlights for me. And then just, also those little things, just the fun exploring New Mombasa, those night missions, finding those audio files, and finding different weapons and vehicle caches throughout the map to help make it easier, I guess, in those night missions with the rookie. But what about you, man?
So I think you bring up a very good point here, and we hadn't talked much about soundtracks in any of these Halo games, but the fact that this one just stood out to you of all the games we've talked about thus far, that says something to me. And I don't remember the soundtrack of this one too much, and we'll get into that in a little bit because I haven't played this one a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I could see it, and the jazzy feel. I love jazz music, so I could definitely feel it. And I also, come to think of it, now that you mention it, is this one of the first Halo campaigns where you really get into night missions?
I think so. It's definitely the most memorable for sure.
Yeah. I agree to that.
There may be some night missions, maybe sniper missions and things.
Well, you got to think the ones stealthy. Before this are 1, 2, 3. So.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
I'm going through it, and I mean, in one you're in some. It's not a night mission, but you're running through the halls of whatever, shooting the heck out of the flood with the shotgun, which is the whole best part of that game. See our previous episode, by the way.
Good plug.
But yeah, that's all. I can't think of any night missions that really stand out. So I agree with you. This one, having those night missions, really stands out to me. It was like a dark version of Halo at the time.
Right. And I loved it.
I agree. And I did too. But for me, pros of this game are definitely the story. This story is in depth. It's one of those that you love to fall into it, meet new characters, develop with them a little bit, get to understand things, but see a different side of Halo because you're not following just the Master Chief. And I know you and I disagree a little bit here. You want more Master Chief. I love the universe of Halo, so I want to see other people besides Master Chief.
Right.
So I see where we agree to disagree there, but I love the overall development of this story. I do like the combat style in this game, in this campaign. It didn't feel... I felt the combat was nice. It didn't feel clunky. You know, it doesn't feel like it was forced. It felt natural. And then the last thing for me is the length of this game. I felt like it was a good length. It wasn't too short, wasn't too long. I don't regret any parts of it. You know, it just felt normal and natural and just there. And for me, it wasn't anything over the top, but it wasn't anything below the bottom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it had a good balance to me.
It's good.
So we'll switch over to cons of this campaign. And I'm going to tell you right now, I really can't find many cons. I don't think I have any cons to this game. I know that one of yours is probably going to be that you're not the Master Chief. But let's hear it, man. What do you got?
Yeah, so I mean, and it's only going to get harder like the further and further we go up this list, you know, trying to nitpick the smallest little things. And that's honestly what I had to do for this game.
Yeah.
Like you, like out of the top of my head, I could not name anything. So I had to like really dive in and just kind of think about like what I kind of didn't really like or care about. So this is basically what I have right here. Okay. So the only con that I can really think of is just like this weird romantic, you know, backstory between Dare and Buck that felt kind of like cliche and just unnecessary to the plot. Like I get why they added it, but it just wasn't necessary. And it was like so short of like a mention thing and provided just a little bit of like conflict between them. But I just felt like it was kind of just cliche and a little bit unnecessary. But, you know, outside of that, some characters weren't as, you know, rememberable as the others. Like an example, like Mickey, Mickey, I didn't really, you know, remember him too much until you mentioned his name.
Right.
But I mean, that's kind of the case whenever you have so many characters, like, you know, somebody's bound to fall through the fray.
And I think you have a point there. One of the cons can be that there is so many characters that you have to develop that you just can't develop them all. Right. Not in one game. It takes time. And that's why typically you see more characters being developed over a series versus just one game.
Right.
So, outside of that, let's go into memories of the game. So honestly, I haven't played this game a whole lot. I've played through it 2 or 3 times. I like the game. For me, most of the memories are going to be, it was a change of pace, and I love playing through with my family, but it felt like a change of pace game, like we discussed earlier. But I have no specific, like, that memory gets tied to that specific thing, you know? For me, this is just middle of the road, and that's why I kind of rated it here. But what about you, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is probably going to be on my list, like, from here on out, but just always playing the campaign with friends and family. Super important to me. Love doing that. You know, I remember also trying to find all the telephones is what we called them, but
the data packs or whatever.
Yeah, the little databases with my brother that had like a little like backstory to them and audio logs. I enjoyed that. Trying to find them. And you know, me and my brother both enjoyed the music and the overall vibe of the night missions.
Yeah. So you guys really bonded over that one.
Yeah, we definitely did. And we both really enjoyed the music, loved the music, and would play that music like on repeat all the time.
Right.
And, sorry. Just one thing I want to add. It's not really from the campaign, but I would literally force my brother to play Firefight. I don't know if you remember, but this is the first game.
No, I don't.
Halo game that had Firefight in it, which is kind of like almost like a zombies kind of thing, but for Halo.
Oh, okay.
Where there's like rounds and hordes of enemies that you have to fight through each round.
But
there was like Xbox achievements for reaching a certain score on each map. So I forced my brother to the point where he hated Firefight and wouldn't play with me anymore just to get those stinking achievements. They were hard.
That was back when we really loved those achievements, right?
Right. And just wanted to complete everything.
Absolutely.
That's all I got.
Okay. All right. So, do you have any bad memories of the game?
No bad memories, man. Just, you know, wish you could have at least met Master Chief in the game. That would have just set it over the edge.
There it is.
Set it over the edge for me.
I've been waiting for that. Waiting for it. I knew it was coming.
I didn't want to say it too much, but I mean, that would have been super cool to see. But outside of that, like, I can't complain, Jarrett. Like,
you just, as game. Buck, you just run into Master Chief, and it's just like, okay, this game's
or hand something to him. Yeah, I don't know.
This game's now an S tier. We're throwing it up S tier now.
That's all you need is Master Chief, and you get an A in my book.
Right? No, that's not true because we ranked, 3 other Halos below this one. And you play as Master Chief.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, unlike just like you, I really have no bad memories of this game. I like the game. Nothing, and like I said, nothing stood out, but nothing was below the bar for me.
Right.
So, we're gonna. Why did we rank this 5 of 8 and give it a B? So, overall, I felt like it was a good game. I don't feel like it was as good as the 4 we have ranked higher than it. But I did like the change of pace on the story and the fact that you weren't following Master Chief. I can see your point, though. I would have thought it would have been pretty cool if you run into Chief and you hand him a data pack or something. That would have been kind of cool. I haven't played it as much as the other games, so I can't really rank it above those other ones. And I thought that the combat and both story were quality for this, but overall, it just average to me. So I did a little bit better than average. I gave it a B instead of a C, right? Because I did overall enjoy the game, unlike some of the ones before that we've talked about. So what about you, man?
Exactly. I'm going to have to agree with pretty much everything you said there. It was just a really solid campaign and storyline that felt unique and was just very fun to play. And just the only reason it isn't higher is just simply because, the stories above it are iconic, if you could say that. But just like those just real A+ kind of stories that are hard to beat.
Exactly. Well, that's it for Halo 3 ODST. We ranked it 5 out of 8 with a B, and we felt like it was there because of this. It was just an average kind of game, and it just doesn't meet that iconic level of the other ones. So until next time, check us out on our socials, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. And if you ever feel like getting with us, hit us up on there. We'd love to hear from you. So until next time, keep gaming and keep having fun.